Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us on our political program, The Pendulum, coming to you live on Lagos Television. I am Ajibola Ojeshola. The Pendulum is this platform through which we discuss different political developments in the country. As we are all aware, on August 18, 2025, the Independent National Electoral Commission actually began the continuous voter registration exercise in the 774 local government areas of the country. But then, some Nigerians are not showing interest in these continuous voter registration exercise. And what exactly is this exercise all about? For those who were not able to vote in 2023 because they were not 18, which is the age constitutionally recognized by the Nigerian Constitution to exercise your franchise, they will be able to vote in 2027 if they participate in this continuous voter registration exercise. So how do we encourage our people, especially at the grassroots level, to ensure that they take effective and active part in this continuous voter registration exercise of the Independent National Electoral Commission is our topic of discussion on the program this afternoon. But before then, we'll be going on a very short break to bring you some of the trending news in the polity. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. You're still watching The Pendulum, our weekly political program on Lagos Television. Once again, our topic of discussion this afternoon is continuous voter registration, why your participation matters, especially for those at the grassroots level. Remember, I did say that the exercise is ongoing presently, of course, by the Independent National Electoral Commission. For those who were not 18 before now, they will be able to register and, of course, participate in the next set of elections in the country. And for those who have moved from one location to the other, this is another opportunity for you to also update your information on the platform of INEC. The grassroots matters a lot, especially now that we just finished the local government election in Lagos State, where in some local government areas, people did not really come out well to exercise their franchise. Joining us on the program this afternoon is the Executive Chairman of Odiolowo Ojuwoye Local Council Development Area, Sheyi Jakonde. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, the ongoing voter registration exercise by the Independent National Electoral Commission Tell us how it is going in your local government, how you are mobilizing your people. Are they really showing interest? And essentially, how important rather is this exercise to the development of our democracy?
So thank you, Jibola. Well, the continuous voters registration is going on very well in my local council development area, which is Odiolu Ojuwoye. And first, we must appreciate that the INEC has taken, this usual step to continue to update the voters register. So what we have done is to continue to sensitize our people in our LCDA, on the need, for participation, on the need for them to, join the democratic process. The PVC, which eventually what you'll get, if you start this process, is of course an essential tool, for any democracy to thrive, and for you to actually even make your voice or your vote to be counted, because your voice can only count if you have a PVC, to establish, what decision you want to make. So as far as we have done is to continue to sensitize our people. We put a lot of advocacies to ensure that people, see the need, for them to have the PVC. For people that have just moved back within the constituencies, that we operate, we advise them to take use of this opportunity to change their address from where they're coming from, so that they can be able to, participate in the electoral process, in future. For people that have attained the age of 18, this is a time, for them to also, join and also register and be part of, the decision in the future elections. So, as far as our LCD is concerned, on our part, we have also made the process seamless. We started on the 18th of August, which was the day they started the online registration. By providing facilities across within the communities. We have 9 wards. We ensure that in each of the wards we have a facility where people can walk in. Provided computers, where people can able to, and internet, where people can actually walk in and, get your register. We have 2 ICT facilities, which we also collapsed, for the process to ensure that people have a seamless experience. People can go in there, register, have their details, captured for registration, and of course, have the printout of that paper for them to have the second leg. So, and in the first week of that, of the process, we did register people across the world. We saw, that actually improved the turnout, where people see that they can go into those centers and, get that assistance from people that we have actually hired to do the job, to ensure that they're able to register and vote. And before that, just this last weekend, we added a mobile registration, where we have engaged, young people, that lives within that community, to go about, providing logistics and vehicles for them to go within the community, to attend to, most especially the aged, people that
physically
challenged, and of course, for people that feel that they need to do it at their own comfort. So they've been going around. We initiated the mobile registration this weekend, where they go about and ensure that, and that is just essentially on weekends, Saturday and Sundays, to meet people at home. For people that are very busy during the week, where they are in work from Monday to Friday.
Right.
So that has also added to the number of people that will be able to register. And of course, we also have the challenge on the second leg of the registration.
Which is the physical registration.
Which is the physical registration. Because when they register, they have their first, they print out paper that gives them all the information. They need to take that for capturing at the INEC location. For us, there's a bit of challenge in that, because what the INEC recognizes the 20 local government. So the location of the INEC capturing office is at Mushi.
Mushi,
And
not Odilo.
So in order to also mitigate that, challenge, we have also provided transportation.
Free?
Free. It's free. Where we pick up all the people that already have their slip, on daily basis, to move them from Odilo
To Mushi.
but to take the capturing, so move the first set, drop them off, we go back, pick the new set. So when they take the second set over there, they're able to return the first set, and that's has also been going on.
So with all of these efforts put in place by your council, what kind of feedback are you getting from your people in terms of their turnout, in terms of the push in their various wards and communities on the need for people to come out well and participate in this exercise?
Well, I think I should also add it. Having done that, having put all the necessary logistics in place to make that process of obtaining your PVC, registering online, providing other logistics, what we have also done is to ensure, that all of our social programs, for people that must benefit, must actually provide, we have used evidence of the PVC as a means of identification. And because the continuous voter registration is ongoing, we have allowed the people, we have allowed people that have actually taken the first step, people that have shown that they have, started that process, started the first process online, so the condition for, getting the benefit for our social programs are either the PVC or the continuous voters register slip, and for us, we feel that is a bit, that is very flexible, because these are things that we can actually even obtain within the local government. For instance, we just had the free GC forms where we distributed forms for the indigent students within the community. And one of the conditions for getting that free GC form is either your PVC if you are 18 years old and above, you must produce your own PVC or the CVR slip.
Okay.
And for people that are below 18 years old, they must bring either the parents or the guardians, PVC or CVR.
So let's talk about the feedback now. With all of these incentives and that you have provided to make it easier for people to register online, and of course transportation to Mushin local government, which is the one constitutionally recognized by the constitution of the country. What kind of feedback are you getting from these efforts so far? And are you also involving members of your CDC and CDAs in this mobilization exercise?
Yes, absolutely. This is, we have had, I think, two stakeholders engagement, where we have the CDC organize all the CDAs within the community, where we also involve the Christian Association of Nigeria, the CAN within that LCDA, the Muslim, and of course the traditional society, for all of the people within the community to come together. And also we did invite the representative of INEC, the electoral officer representing Mushi, with his team, to join in that stakeholders engagement, where we're able to sensitize, educate the people within the community, and that has happened twice, where on the first occasion was just an advocacy and sensitization, and on the second occasion we have had to discuss other issues, make it interactive, say about people's what people's experiences were and where they have issues, especially in the area of where the EO has to educate on the issue, which is actually very,
the electoral officer.
Yeah, the electoral officer, which is actually very, very important, because we have people that have actually registered, for PVC and have it misplaced.
Okay.
So there's a very, ANEC has a very clear distinct between a new registration and a renewal, or a damage and misplaced. So for most people, for most of us, most people, they get it confused, Most people believe that if the PVC is missing
Or damage.
or damaged,
They have to start the registration
start
afresh.
the registration afresh, and that actually complicates the reassurance, because on the long run, the EU had stated clearly that they have a system that at the end of the whole exercise will ensure that that informations that have been put in place are not duplicated.
Okay.
And that might actually eliminate such a person from actually voting in the future election.
But from your observation so far, in terms of percentage as regards turnout of those that are eligible to register newly, and those who might have mistakenly misplaced their PVC or they got it damaged, how would you rate it?
Well, for my local government, with all the efforts that we have put in place and from what we have been getting and receiving, I think it's quite impressive. I think we're doing close to about 1,000, people trying to register across the world, and in the same number also trying to do the capturing. I think the number is quite impressive, and I think that the awareness is very high with what we have put in place, and I feel that I believe in the response that we're getting from the people. However, I believe that there's still more to be done. I believe that we continue to advocate and sensitize our people, especially that this program of continuous registration will go until August 2026. So, and that is why we keep also encouraging our people to, to spread the word, because what we advise them is, once you're able to register, you can actually, share your experience, with your next person, with your neighbor, with your family members, because you never can tell. As a matter of fact, we're still having a stakeholders engagement, doing the stakeholders engagement yesterday with the head of teachers, while we're preparing for the resumption of schools, yes, in the Olowo. I did even ask them that, you must be intentional about what your PVC status is. Sometimes you have that belief and understanding that we do actually registered, and you're not even sure that that card is actually present. This is the time to actually go in there, check, physically, and be sure that the PVC actually exists. Because, when this cycle goes off, next year, August, it's going to be very impossible for you to try to replace it or try to get another PVC if you actually don't have. So it's a time for that, people actually have to, be intentional and physically check that their card actually, is there. Because actually, the thing is, if you ask an average Nigerian if they do have PVC, they'll say yes. And trust me, that's, it's questionable.
Okay, so it is one thing, which is a commendable effort anyway, that you have mobilized in all fronts for people to come out and participate in this exercise. But oftentimes, what we have seen is that so many PVCs will be left uncollected at the end of this exercise. So what kind of phase of mobilization are you planning to engage in again after the registration exercise and the update of their information to ensure that these people actually go back there to collect their PVC? Because without the collection of the PVC, you cannot take part or participate in any of our elections.
So, well, I believe that with the level of awareness that we have created, and with the kind of policies that we have made in terms of our social
intervention
programs, where we have made it as a condition, for people to actually, provide either the PVC and the CRV, I believe that they will actually have to go back and collect it. For instance, we have our back to school program that's actually going to kick off tomorrow, because we believe that having a back to school program during the school, when the school actually resumes, will defeat the economic purpose of that program. So it is also we have made it compulsory that every a beneficiary of that program must produce that PVC.
Okay.
And this has been going on for the past 2 days on all our local radio stations and the whole of the social media within that community. So the awareness is there. The every program that we've had in the past 2 or 3 weeks. The ICT, the FGC, and all that. The summer boot camp. The parents of these kids actually produce or the CVR of the PVC. So eventually, at the end of the exercise, it's very natural that we're going to, of course, have to drop the uses of the CVR for our social benefit program, and it's going to be only PVC. So by that,
you'll be forced to go and collect.
You'll be forced to go and pick it up.
Okay, I'm quite happy that you mentioned those that will be 18 this year, and of course, youth generally, as part of those you are trying to woo to ensure that they take part in this exercise. During the 2023 elections, especially the presidential, majority of them were audio voters on the social media platform. So how do you intend to translate these into physical voting as we look forward to another set of election in the country? They are very active on social media, no doubt about it. But when it comes to physical voting, coming to polling booths, to come and exercise their franchise, bringing their PVCs, they are usually nowhere to be found. They are either playing football or watching film at home.
So you're very right about that, yeah. And that, I had that experience during our, for our GCA form, we actually have to conduct a mock examination to determine qualified students that will actually benefit from the free GCA. So during that process, I actually accosted a young lady, and I was, after interrogating her, I found out that she was 20 years old. And the question was, where is
your PVC?
As a matter of fact, one of the more questions that was actually the meaning of a PVC.
Wow.
It's one of the questions that we actually put on our mock examination, and even doing working around. So I'd asked, where is your PVC? And she's like, she doesn't have a PVC, and she's 20 years old. It will interest you to know that she's a TikToker, she's online, she has a social media presence, and all of that. So that is exactly what you are talking about. So this is something I experienced, just last week. And what I did was I told her that I will allow her, because ordinarily she's not qualified to actually be in that mock examination without a PVC or a CVR. And I said, well, this is an exam, I will allow you. There are 5 of them in total that actually, I was able to bring her from that examination process. And I said, I will allow them to sit for the exam. However, they're not going to get the results until they produce their CVR.
Okay.
So they brought the CVR the next day. The next was on a Friday, so they brought it the next working day. And I start to question why you've not actually been voting. Another interesting point was one of them actually worked as an ad hoc staff with the INEC during the last election.
And he's not registered.
And he's not registered. So and I said, these are the people that actually be sitting online. They enjoy that comfort of sending all of these things online and all of that. And what I did was to make sure that actually, after producing that registration, ensure that they get the free GCA form, so at least they feel that benefit of democracy. And I said, okay, if you are going to enjoy this, you're going to also have to go and get your friends, your family and your mates, without online, you start to advocate. And of course, engage, start to engage people on your social media network, for people to actually get on. And it's been very impressive.
Okay.
She's one of the people we actually, we've added them to one of the people that are doing our mobile registration across the community now. So it's been quite impressive.
All right, we are still speaking on the continuous voter registration exercise of the Independent National Electoral Commission. It began online on the 18th of August 2025, and so far the kind of feedback we are getting from some local government and LCDs in Lagos State is quite encouraging. Although it could be better, but it's still a long day. Anyway, it's still going to continue till 2026. At this moment on the program, we'll be going on a very short break. When we come back, the conversation will continue.
This exercise will take place in 3 phases. We are in the first phase now. For the first phase, we have 21 designated locations. These are the 20 local government area offices, as well as our state office here in Yaba. And for each local government area as at now, we have deployed at least minimum of 3 machines per local government. Where we have large population like Adimasho, we deploy at least 4. So we have adequate personnel and material and machines to cope with exercise for this current.
I want to tell people to go out to go and get their PVC, because especially the youth, so be able to have voice in the coming election. Then there won't be things like this is not the person that's supposed to be in it. If you contribute to it, then you'll be able to have voice. Yeah.
My advice is that people should make efforts to go and get their PVC, to do the registration and get it, so that they will be able to make decision on who will be the next governors, president, and the local government. I mean, the other political posts.
Haven't, but I've registered. The process was quite easy because it was mostly online and you just need your pictures and everything. That was all. Then your name, where you want to, like your local government, easier place. Like even get to choose where you want to, like easier place for you to go and vote. It's very advisable to go and collect it because it's very, very important. If you do not have PVC, you cannot determine the kind of the type of government you want, and you don't get to complain that this person is good, this person is not good. So you need to get it.
My advice to them is they should be fast in getting their PVC, because that is an easy way to know that yes, they are a qualified voter.
Yes, I have. It was a bit stressful for me, but I didn't have to spend much on transport because it was not too far from my place, but it was a bit stressful. What people don't know is that their vote counts, so that you don't have to complain later. And people should remove their mind from the fact that it's the person that they want to enter that will enter, that their vote will not count and all. One vote will still count.
Yes, I have. I've collected my PVC a very long time. I'm not I'm not doing new registration. I've been voting for a long time. It's your right to vote and be voted for. So if you are not voting, you are just losing your rights. And you are telling yourself that you are irresponsible. I know that we're worried about a lot of things. Nigeria is not doing well. When they get there, what do you do? Why don't you try to get there too, so that you can make the change you want?
Still here with us on the Pendulum this week is Sheyi Jakonde, the Executive Chairman of Odiolowo Ojuwe Local Council Development Area. And so far, he's been able to give us the breakdown of the efforts of his administration in ensuring that those that will be eligible to vote in 2027 participate enough in this continuous voter registration exercise of INEC. And now that you have established the fact that, okay, people are showing interest, they are coming out, and you are using different kind of strategy to ensure that people actually come out to ensure that they are registered or update their information with INEC. Now, how germane do you think this exercise is for our democracy? That's on one side. And with the pre-online registration started by INEC, does that give you the confidence that maybe sometime in the future, Nigeria would at least be ripe for electronic voting?
Oh, yes. I think, like I said, this is a process, this is the most essential process of any democratic process, because, it's a tool for democracy. Without a PVC, without a CVR, I don't see how that process can actually exist or even be complete, because democracy is about a government of the people by the people. It's expected that people will go to the polls, and they need a kind of an equipment, to exercise that right. So as much as we can speak or go online to make our voice heard, to make other see what we want in terms of
dividends of democracy,
even in terms of leadership choice. You have those choices to make, but you can't actually, implement that if you don't have
your
this
PVC.
So it is a very, very important process, and that is what we have been advocating, and that's what we have actually been bringing down to the people, especially the people, the young people, who have just attained the age of 18, to see that there is a lot of need. As a matter of fact, we are, because our administration is data-driven, and that we have also ensured that most of all the people that participate in all our programs, like we have 600 in the summer tech camp, we have about 1,250 for the GCA, and the last sport competition we have, which was the Chairman's Cup. So we have almost about 3,000 or so in our database as we speak. So what we have also given a mandate to the team that we have raised, to continue to advocate on all of those people also is, to start to make calls to people that are presently 17. And we have the numbers of people that's going to be that will attain the age of 18 between now and next year, August. So when they put a call to them to wish them an happy birthday, they're also reminding them, of that they need to actually participate in this.
Okay, so at the level of Conference 57, which is the umbrella body of local government chairmen in Lagos State, what kind of discussion, what kind of conversation are you having regarding this continuous voter registration exercise, so that the population of Lagos State can actually serve as an advantage in 2027?
So at conference, I can say comfortably that we are, we are all in alignment. Of course, an agreement that it is also very, very important that everybody, domesticates that need and intention for people to actually go. And that has been going on across all the SCDs and local governments in Lagos State. That's I'm aware of.
Okay. So for those who are watching us right now, rather, who are still skeptical as to why they must go to INEC office in your local government or LCDA to go and register, what message do you have for them, especially the youth who are always disconnected from those governing them, and of course going to the social media to go and condemn government without having the means to actually participate effectively in our democracy?
Oh yes. On the first leg of the question, I think that's directed to INEC to see how they can actually expand locations for capture. Because those distance from, might actually hinder that completion of that
even
process.
Discourage.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why we have introduced our own transportation. But of course, we're not going to be able to, pick everybody for that process, either due to the volume and also the convenience. Because the time, like I said, people actually have to go to work, then of course there has to be a bit of time, you have to put to it. So I believe that INEC also needs to actually see how they can expand locations for capturing, where people can have more, ease of visiting centers that are actually very close to them. They need to look at proximity of areas, So for the youth, I believe that gradually, when we continue to engage them, they're going to see the need and the reason to believe in that system of democracy. Because a lot of people believe that the votes don't count or it's not going to count, but we've seen the numbers. We've witnessed elections year in, year out where numbers have been declared, where we have seen a bit of fairness in how that process has been conducted, And of course, INEC continues to upgrade and improve on their own electoral system. But what is important is that it is clear, that the number of voters, there's an extreme gap between registered people that have actually been registered to vote and the number of votes we do get
At the end
at
of the
the
day.
end of the year. And that is actually very discouraging, because you can imagine where you have a registered voters of close to 7-8 million, 6.7 million as a case in Lagos, and we're recording less than 1 million
Votes.
participants in that electoral process. That is actually not good enough.
All right, we must thank you very much, Sheyi Jakonde, the Executive Chairman of Odioluwo Ojuwoye Local Council Development Area, for finding time to be on the program this afternoon. But as much as government is trying its best to ensure that people actually exercise their franchise as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended in 1999, you also owe yourself that duty if you are 18 years and above. If you have moved from where you used to live in 2023 to another place now, you must do everything humanly possible to ensure that you participate in this exercise, get captured, supply all the necessary information to the Independent National Electoral Commission so that in 2027 you will be able to decide who will represent you in the State House of Assembly, who will represent you in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, who will be your senator, and above all, who is going to be your governor in your state. We have no choice. If you are 18 years and above, you just must participate in this particular exercise. And if indeed you believe that democracy is truly the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, then you cannot fold your arm and not participate in this continuous voter registration exercise by INEC. It's going to be ongoing now, from now till August 2026. So there's no excuse for anybody. If indeed you are desirous of dividends of democracy, then you must come out, participate in this continuous voter registration exercise by INEC. We thank you very much for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me.
That's the Pendulum this week. We thank you very much for watching. Do remember to join us again next Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the program. I am Ajibola Ojeshola. Thanks for watching.